It's the Sunday service. The super dance team. Dystopia warning. Doobie 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 doobie.
Hello. Hello everybody, and welcome to my live stream tonight. I really hope that a bunch of you are joining tonight, because it's not my usual time, really. And it's definitely not my normal day. And it's also definitely not normally like me to have such a extraordinarily long delay between videos without any explanation. So I thought that what I'd do tonight, because Robert Jenrick's Defection wiped out 3 hours of my work. Yeah, it was all around the process, the farcical process of him being sacked by Bad-Enoch. And then at the very end, I did say in the video, I bet by the time this goes live, he would have already defected. And alas, I was right, except none of the video contained the defection. So I thought that I would talk about it in real time with you tonight. I thought I would give you a little bit of an inkling as to why I have not been as active. It's certainly not through choice. I think when any woman is forced to step away from a platform that she has built from scratch completely organically, brick by fucking brick, that it's always going to be through a lack of choice. And I've been writing a piece about this over the last couple of days. I'm very nervous, actually, about coming back tonight, because that's just how difficult things have been for me. For once, for the first time in 5 years, I was frozen and unable to do anything. But first of all, before I get into all of that, there's one really important thing that I want to say about what's been going on with the tech bro, the broverlords, the broligarchs, etc. I want to make one thing very clear in terms of what's going on with all of those bastards, right? What this is and continues to be, in terms of the billionaires, the politicians and their billionaire owners, essentially, is a campaign of desensitisation, systematic desensitisation, and then implementation. Incrementally lowering your tolerance and then unleashing the horrors. That is what they are doing. And what's the result of that? The result of that is, instead of blanket condemnation of objectively abhorrent things such as child abuse, women being violated sexually, paedophile rings, the cold-blooded murder of US citizens by secret police, Trump's Gestapo, it's all just framed as a debate. You know, the phrase from Orwell about not trusting the evidence of your eyes and ears is chillingly apt. But so is the desensitisation process. And what it's proven, this and amongst other things has proven, not least the revelation that Facebook had tried to manipulate deliberately the emotions as early as 2014 of its users. What this has all proven is that we are the social experiment. And there's no low that they won't stoop to in order to create chaos, profitable chaos. Chaos that is both profitable in terms of money and profitable financially. Same thing. Same elements of power at play here. And yeah, women, right, are usually the first spoils in any war, especially like a physical war. Women are the first casualties. women are the ones that are raped and dehumanised first. But it's not just us. It just starts with us. And that's something that people need to realise here, because Nigel Farage, Reform, any other opportunistic far-right politician that pretends to care about women and children, that is offering fulsome support to Musk because they benefit financially from being on his platform and from the boosts for their disinformation campaigns, giving fulsome support to nonces like Musk and Trump, it won't make a shit of difference regarding their popularity. And that's the worst element of all of this, because it's never been about concern for women or children. It's never been about patriotism either. Far-right populism is about protecting the cesspit that is late-stage capitalism. It's about power, and these culture war topics are merely a vehicle for them to attain unchecked power. It's a nonce-protecting pyramid scheme. That's what it is. Anyway, I think it was important to say that. I think it's important to say that. Because the elements of gaslighting that are going on, the shocking refusal to confirm objective reality, that's going on in America now, and anything that Trump's doing in America, Farage wants to do here. Farage wants to do it here. It's coming for us. It's Project 2029. So this isn't just about what I faced personally, but any woman, as Maya Angelou said, that takes a stand for herself, takes a stand for all women. And I will not be fucking silenced, and I will not be removed from my platform, and I will not stop calling them out. Regardless. But I think it's really important, the women will all get it, but I think it's really important that any man that follows me, that subscribes to me on any platform, needs to know the absolute hell that any woman that they follow, any podcaster that they follow, any woman that they enjoy the content of, whether it's for information or entertainment, that woman will be put through hell by men, regardless of what she's talking about. And when it comes to politics, it's 1,000,000 times worse. 1,000,000 times worse. There is no low that they won't stoop to. And it's not limited to one side of the political spectrum either. No. They will, if you're a woman, they will fixate on you. They will become obsessed with you. They will stalk you. And they will do what they did to me, which is post pictures of me outside my house to intimidate me. Regardless of knowing my vulnerabilities, regardless of knowing my history of abuse from men, that I came into all of this with and have had to suffer 5 years of, in addition, brutal, invasive. And another thing to not say to women is to say to them, just come off Twitter. I saw this happening in real time. I saw how fast the requests were. I saw how quickly they were updating. This isn't just a problem, although the main primary aspect of this is a problem. It's not just the tech being very much designed to do this. It's the millions, possibly billions of men that chose to engage with it in that way. Because this showed everybody, as if Pellico didn't, as if what I saw in the West Country with firefighters upskirting mangled women in car accidents. We saw it with Nicole Henry. Bieber Smallman, Nicole Henry. We saw this when their bodies the murdered sisters, their bodies, their mutilated bodies were photographed by the police. It's not just the method. Something's very wrong in men. Very wrong. But the pictures were being imported from everywhere. I saw men that had saved screenshots of women's Instagram stories from months ago that were uploading that. It was instant deepfaking. Instant. Whereas the other apps take longer, there's an intermediary, it's harder to be anonymous. This shows what happens to us, what is done to us when there are no consequences, when they can't be traced. Telling a woman to adjust her habits is something that I've heard, not just from people that follow me, but I've heard it from the police. I've been told to just come offline. I've been told to adjust my life because they will not investigate it. A crime is only a crime if it is investigated by the police. The police, a copper murdered Sarah Everard. The worst rapist ever known in this country was a copper. Every week there's more examples of domestic violence and rape committed by the police. We need to burn it all the fuck down and rebuild it. We need women to rebuild it. Anyway. Thank you to everybody in the chat tonight. Thank you to my lovely mods. Thank you to the channel members. Thank you to everyone that supported my channel. And thank you to everyone that's tuned in tonight to hear me laugh a little bit at the clown show that is British politics. Before I proceed, I've got a couple of super chats here, so thank you to those that have popped a super chat across to me this evening. Svirlant72, thank you very much for the super chat. So sorry you have to face the bleep you do. You can't say it, so I'll say shit. So sorry you have to face the shit that you do. Thank you. Daystant, I can't see the full name. Daystant, oh no. Oh no. I'm just going to try and click that. Daystanton, for the treat of your choice, Tan, you're sounding fragile. Remember that there's more love than hate out here for you. I'm okay. I'm just, I can't even express to you the absolute hell that I've been dealing with over the last couple of weeks or longer. But this isn't anything new for me. It's just an entirely new method, really. James Beeching, 6138, thank you for the super. Are you in the Met area? Can't believe they won't investigate. That's why they are called pigs. Well, they've not investigated any past reports. They've said, oh, you haven't given us a name of this person, so we can't find them. So I went with them the next time with a different person with a name. Oh, we can't really investigate that. That's online stuff, really. Oh, it looks like it's a political matter. Yeah, because women aren't ever killed for being political, are they? So this latest one, which I can't talk about because it is being taken seriously, finally, I assume. And if it's not, I'm going to sue the fucking police. So, but no, in the past, every single report that's been serious enough for me to warrant going through dealing with the bullshit of the police has been just completely ignored, disregarded. So, anyway, Robert Jenrick, the man that I refer to as the Pillsbury Fash Boy. Other people call him Honest Bob, as a joke. Some people call him the Mural Destroyer. I call him a total cunt. He's a man that is deeply racist, deeply corrupt. He helped a Tory donor to evade nearly £50 million worth of tax on a £1 billion investment in London. Robert Jenrick is another term, very well said. He was sacked today in what was, I hate saying this, I hate saying it, a fucking genius move by Kemi Bad-Enoch. And that's probably the only opportunity that I'm ever going to have in my life to utter those words. But it was a brilliant little stitch up, wasn't it? Brilliant little stitch up. I've actually, for once in my bloody life, don't know how this is going to work, managed to do a little thing here. So, here we go. We're cooking with gas. So, the word on the street is, regarding this, is that they found out about this. They found out about what was going on, right? They knew that Robert Jenrick was planning to defect at a very damaging time, just before the May elections, at some point around May, before the May elections. Okay. And I don't know if I believe what people are saying in terms of, oh, it was just left lying around. I think that's a load of bollocks, personally. I think, personally, that Kemi Bad-Enoch did her old trick. She did her old trick of hacking, like she hacked Harriet Harman's computer, right? She got in there. She was like, hacker Bad-Enoch. But anyway, the way that it kind of like, the way that it played out was the chief whip phoned him and sacked him. No ifs, no buts. Bob, you're fucked, mate. Off you pop. And then just as he was like trying to protest it, because apparently he was 60-40, winning endorsement there for reform, isn't it? I wasn't quite sure whether I wanted to join your fash party, right? Moments after, whilst he was still reeling from having been found out, Kemi Bad-Enoch issued a fucking pre-record. She uploaded a pre-record straight away, showing that it had been planned. But she also timed it at the exact moment that Nigel Farage was facing questions regarding Lord Offord, the former Tory donor and peer, you know, who's going to be the leader of reform in Scotland. You know, they're talking about fielding loads of candidates that aren't really experienced in politics. Yeah, great, just what we need then, isn't it? Just like all the fucking councils that are shit. So she did it so that Nigel Farage would also be blindsided by questions about Jenrick. And he did look uncomfortable about it. He neither confirmed nor denied. He backtracked. He was too busy talking about how Lord Offord shouldn't get out his tax returns for the lads. Yeah, that camera just did that on its own. Thank you. Needed that. Extreme close-up. So they were totally caught out. And the beautiful consequence of this was that it was probably quite satisfying for Kemi Bad-Enoch, because since day one, she has been massively undermined by Jenrick. He did not like the fact that he lost out to her in the leadership contest. at all. Hated it. Hated it. So what he did was decided to undermine her by being continuity reform, which she went along with. You know, she didn't sack him for the overt racism about there not being enough white faces in Birmingham. Didn't sack him for that, no. No. Or all the other mad far-right shit he said. No, she fell in line and placated him. Maybe it was a case of keeping your enemies closer. But he has been gunning, repeatedly gunning for her job. And by doing this, she's pulled his pants down in public, hasn't she? She's revealed his bare bottom. And she also did exactly the same to Farage. Because, what does Farage think about Robert Jenrick? Should we have a little look, shall we? Should we have a little look about what Jenrick said? What Farage said, sorry, about Robert Jenrick? Yeah. He said, Jenrick is a fraud. Can't read that. I've always thought so. This quote proves it. The quote in question, more hotels have been coming online almost every month throughout the whole year. What I've done is procure even more. Jenrick was a Remainer. A Johnson loyalist. Yes, inexplicably ended up in, a minor position in Sunak's government. Decided that the stop the boats rhetoric, which was yelled by people as they tried to burn down asylum hotels, didn't quite go far enough. So stepped down. Didn't go far enough. And then every single one of his views went further right. Further and further right. Someone has just said that... Oh, hang on, what was someone just saying? There's some weird comments in the chat. Someone just said that he's a bit like J.D. Vance. And I actually tend to agree. I do. I tend to agree. But what Kemi Bad-Enoch did, right? After she did the old... no, that's the wrong one. After she did this. After Bad-Enoch did this. She left Jenrick in no man's land. Like, his choices were kaput at this point. So, he had no choice but to take the defection. No choice. With a monumental demotion. Probably why he was on the, on the fence. Possibly. He won't be happy there. He'll hate it. And this will not end well. Because he's never going to be leader of reform, but he could have had a shot at being leader of the Tory party. But he knows, opportunistically, that the Tories are fucked. And why are they fucked? Because once again, they're trying to emulate Farage or whatever random party he's got going on now. Because that's what the Tories did for the best part of their tenure last time. Then they got shafted in an election for it. Farage has been in power for the last, 15 years. 12 at the least. So, Farage did have the opportunity today to do the funniest thing. He could have just been like, nah, I'm not going to take you. His party now resembles Johnson-era Tories. And that went well, didn't it? That ended really well. The funny thing is, even if this irrefutable evidence doesn't turn out to be correct, no one cares because everyone thinks Jenrick's an absolute shithouse. No one cares about it. Nobody cares. So he was left in a position where he's in political no man's land, or he vindicates Kemi Bad-Enoch by defecting. I just didn't expect him to do it so quickly. Didn't expect him to do it so quickly. Now, it's not just been Jenrick this week, actually. It's also been Nadeem Zahawi, who defected because he wasn't given a peerage. Now, in the past, this is really peak irony, lads, okay, ladies and they and everyone in between. This is peak irony. Farage referring to, of all people ever, that Nadeem Zahawi is climbing a greasy pole. Greasy pole. Do you want to know why? Because, according to Pop Bitch, years ago, everyone used to say, they said that Nadeem Zahawi referred to himself at any given opportunity as, and I quote, the King of Anal. The King of Anal. But they revealed another interesting little tidbit today, in the sense that he would talk about partying in the south of France at none other than the home of then known Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy. Reform can pick 'em, can't they? Mind you, they'll just accept fucking anybody, won't they? Now, we need the Tories to succeed to some extent to stave off reform, but it won't happen as long as they're indistinguishable from reform. Now, by getting rid of that little gobshite, Jenrick, Bad-Enoch has the opportunity here to actually govern properly. She had the right idea. She was actually on the ball with regards to just banning X. Like, completely banning them. Someone just asked, when Zahawi said he was the King of Anal, did he mean giving or receiving? Tommy Lee Cadden, I believe he was giving. Hence why the greasy pole analogy is hilarious, really, when you think about it. So, what a time. What a time we are enduring. I'm going to go back up because I'm missing out. I missed out on somebody popping me over a couple of messages. So, oh wow, thank you guys. Blag Wedge, thank you very much for the super chat from a paw. Oh, you didn't have to. Put it towards another nail in the baseball bat. Yeah, good shout, man. I need to make myself a fucking mess. Peter Birdie, thank you very much. It's about time. I made it to a live stream. Never stop fighting. Here, have cash. Thank you. Thank you. Can't stop, won't stop. Pepe Limoko. Tarlov. I hear the SLA, Scottish Liberation Army, are digging up Grandad's service revolvers to pose reform. Really? Viva la Revolution. God. Scottish Liberation. I mean, that could be a joke. I've never actually heard of the Scottish Liberation Army. Feel like I should now. Feel like I should have an idea who they are. James Beeching. Suella. Next. Here's hoping. I don't even know what she's doing nowadays. Oh, here's hoping. Oh, no, I see what you mean now. What, moving over to Reform? I thought she'd already gone. Do you know what? The list is so long. You know, all Johnson rejects, like Andrea Jenkins. Jesus Christ, she won't stop singing. You know Andrea Jenkins, who was the whole at the public during the falling of Johnson. Doris. Tommy 10 names. Tommy 10 names. Well, he got caught out a little bit this week, didn't he? He revealed a lot with his advertising. He was broadly roasted for complaining about adverts for gay sites, whilst everyone was like, Stephen, hey, little wee what pal, oi, you do know that your ads are targeted according to what you've been looking at. Just come out, mate, be yourself. You know, love is love. Not that fascists deserve any form of love. Oh, Tommy's totally a bottom. Totally. I mean, to be fair, he couldn't be anything else, could he? When he's that fucking tiny. You know, he wouldn't get on Nemesis. He wouldn't. He's not allowed to ride Nemesis. He doesn't, you know, meet the. You know, he's not able to. So he'd have to be a receiver, wouldn't he? Unless someone gets him a stepladder, you know. Unless someone gets him a stepladder. You're an infected of hello. Stephen Yaxley Lennon, otherwise known as Closy Osborne. That is genius. That is absolutely genius. Closy Osborne. I'm writing that in my bloody book. Just so you know, Yuri, I'm going to steal that probably. I'm going to put your name next to it so I can possibly credit you at some point. He can ride Nadeem Zahawi. Well, I reckon, yeah. Nadeem Zahawi, Tommy Robinson, and the Greasy Pole. I mean, that works on multiple levels, doesn't it? You know, because they used to hate the Polish. A well-greased pole. You'd have to ride the teacups. We all know what Tommy Robinson's answer is when he's asked, daddy or chips. Takes a bit of daddy, has some chips. It's the best way. Not that he has, well, I mean, he'd have to be a bottom because due to the sheer amount of gack that he sticks into his face, I doubt that he'd be able to even get it up, frankly. But even if Tommy Robinson did come out as gay, I wouldn't give a solitary shit. All I care about is the fact that the guy's a thieving, grifting little fascist. That's... Being gay myself, I would rather shag a flag than Tommy. Well, you and Tommy Robinson have probably got that in common. Labour really failed, I feel. Yeah, they eventually put some legislation through, right? But they sat on their hands for days regarding Musk and Trump. They've not gone far enough. You know, saying today, we might implement some new laws if they're needed. The Grok app is the worst for this. And do you want to know what? The sheer volume of people that have downloaded that app, the app stores could have removed it. The app stores could have completely removed it. They didn't though, did they? None of them did. This is an exercise in showing that they have ultimate control. They can do whatever the fuck they want. And no one's really going to stop them. And do you know what signal this sends out to women? The same signal we've got all of, throughout all of history, really. You're on your fucking own. Do you want to know what signal it sends out to men? You can do whatever the fuck you like to women and nobody's going to do anything about it. Someone's just referring to the SLA here. Pepe Lamoco, thanks love. Hey Tan, the SLA is not a joke, but it no longer exists. They were a small freedom fighter stroke terror organisation in the 70s. It was a joke. GCHQ. I probably wouldn't refer to them as the suffragettes were referred to as a terrorist organisation. Essentially, they met the criteria of that, and look at what we got as a consequence. So. K-Thing 5853. Thank you. As a member of the LGBTQ, we want him as much as crabs. Wow. Wow. I don't blame you. He's about as welcome as a dose of the clap, isn't he? I mean, he is fucking repulsive as a human being, undoubtedly. This SLA thing is giving me Citizen Smith vibes. Yeah. I sent a email about a week and a half ago to my local MP, first Labour MP in years. Didn't even fucking reply about this grok thing. I also sent it to Jess Phillips and the Women's Minister. Again, no fucking reply. Well done, women. Well done. Excellent idea. Citizen Tan Smith. But, I mean, they've all really shown their arse. And the problem is how endemic this double standard and hypocrisy is. Today, I saw a news article about a white man, 49 years old, white man, who was stoned to death by a group of teenagers on a beach, I think it was in Kent, for trying to meet up with a 16-year-old by claiming to be much younger and turning up with a bunch of booze. I think he was claiming to be something like 30 or younger than that. And he turned up with a bunch of booze. And these teenagers stoned him to death and called him a paedophile. Underneath, there were reams and reams and reams of white men saying, oh, well, it's legal, isn't it? 16-year-old child with booze. But she's legal. Would they say that about a brown man? Say a man of Pakistani origin trying to meet up with a 16-year-old girl on a beach with loads of booze? Of course they fucking wouldn't. I mean, if you're any man that's nearly 50 trying to meet a 16-year-old, you are a pedo. Like, you're undoubtedly a pedo. That's a child, man. When I look at 16-year-olds now, they look like babies to me. That's a kid, you know. But because he was white, and because he was meeting a 16-year-old child, that's fine, you know, to them. They're all defending him. They've also been using the whole, oh, but you can just Photoshop clothes off of people line, as if that's a fucking defence of non-consensual sexual assault, digital sexual assault. Oh, but, you know, women post selfies. Fuck me. yeah, they consent to posting that image of themselves, don't they? I mean, they know what consent is. They just don't fucking care. And in fact, I would go as far as to say that the driving factor is absolutely the lack of consent. That's what gives them the horn. Because any woman that's willing is a slut, isn't she? She's a whore. If a woman's willing, but no, they find it sexy when she's not. That's because most of them don't even see women as people, as human beings, with like feelings and like agency. In fact, they don't want the agency at all. So we're in a position now where we're not just scanning the outside world for threats all the time, completing a never-ending checklist. But now we're doing it online too. And it's not a factor of, oh, they didn't put the guardrails in, or, oh, they designed the tech wrong. This update that he made recently to Grok allowed this to happen. You didn't used to be able to do this. You didn't used to be able to do this on Grok. It's been implemented recently. He made it able to do this. I don't know how many of you have seen Mountainhead. It's the new thing by Jesse Armstrong, who did Succession. And it's all of the... LOL. It's all of the... what are they called? Tech bros up on this kind of like remote mountain lodge thing. And they're all sitting around. And one of them has unleashed a bit of tech that is causing global chaos. I mean, I think it's deepfake tech too. And these people are all running around, setting fire to buildings, overthrowing governments, and these tech bros are all holed up on this mountaintop retreat. And they are reveling, weirdly detached, but yet reveling in this chaos that they're causing. And this is the thing. That's the ultimate thing that they want. They want chaos. They want us to lose it. They want us to rise up. They want us to kill each other. And they're untouchable throughout all of it. Absolutely untouchable. All their basic infrastructure still works. It's very fucked up. But that's I don't think it's all killer. I think that the internal story is the limiting factor of Mountainhead. I don't think it's a great story. I think they could have done a lot better. But yeah, it's an interesting insight. Because every single arsehole, Rupert Lowe, talking about how he'll protest on the streets if X is banned. Saying with his whole chest that he's defending a nonce platform. His whole chest. Fuck me. Pedo defender. You're an actual pedo defender. And why? Why, Rupert Lowe? Could it be because, you make thousands from being boosted by Elon Musk every month on Twitter? Thousands. Absolutely thousands. So do people like Lawrence Fox. Any of those right-wing grifting little shithouses, they're making tons of bank. And they need that as their radicalisation vehicle. Reform needs it as their radicalisation vehicle. Because if they lose X, they lose access to being able to manipulate loads of people. They lose their grip on the social network that has fueled their popularity by creating a kind of mass consensus, a false image of mass consensus. And that's why you're seeing people that you would never normally see falling for this shit. Facebook's quite bad. They're doing it on TikTok now too. Because they've got millions to pour into this. They can essentially campaign as if it's an election campaign 365 days of the year. That's how much money they've got to throw at it. They can pay people to make videos in their interests, and then they can pay for those people to get more views on those videos by turning them into ads or boosting them via paid methods on TikTok. This is how it works. Loads of people are being just brainwashed into believing mad bullshit this way. And they have been for about a couple of years now. In this sustained, kind of repetitive, consistent way at least. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yuri said that Charlie blocked my toilet. It sound reminds me of Charlie bit my finger. Sorry lads, keep getting off on rants here. K-Thing, thank you very much. Tiny Tommy Thrush, because he's an irritable C-word, perhaps. Thank you very much. Jack Russell 4 years. Jack Russell 4 years, here you go. God, reminds me of that disgusting. It was fucking one of yours. Coffee Dosh. Glad you're back, Tan. It's good to be back, dear. You're smart guy. Thank you. Hope you're feeling better after everything you went through the past few weeks, Tan. Hope things get better. Things can only get better. They literally can only get bloody better. Yeah. Here's hoping, you know. Here's Ruddy hoping. I'm going to have another slurp before I proceed. But yeah, as Dee Ream once sang, we're fucked, mate. No, yeah. I will persevere. Kirsty Hamilton. Hello, Super Tanskinsky. Thanks, Kirsty. Good to see you again. And you, love. And you. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Stephen Boyd Merriman. Hello, Duck. Nice to see some Euros again. Narcissistic thief unable to leave scene of crime in antique mirror shop. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's Stephen Boyd joke time again. And I'm loving it. Yeah, I need to get like a little squeaky tank. Thank you, Stephen. Pepe Le Poco. Hello. No X, please. We're British. Well, I'm friggin' Scottish with a French mammy. Ha 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 ha. Well, I'm very sorry that you were just subjected to me attempting to do Scottish. Can I do Scottish? About all I can very vaguely do. Yeah, that's not a good voice, is it? It's got nothing on my Princess Diana. Oh God, could you imagine if Princess Diana tried to do a rasclart Scottish accent? Be very bumberclot bad, wouldn't it? Tony Fox 7439. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Well, they haven't so far. Not entirely. Not entirely. It makes me laugh. People were mentioning Kid Starver in the chat, right? The Rent Boy thing is blatantly homophobic and demonstrably false. And the Kid Starver thing coming from the Tories who killed like 300,000 people from austerity. Do they forget that old people were riding the bus to keep warm and to stay alive? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. My name is Michael Caine. I can only say like Scottish, really. James Beeching. Where is Freddie? Thank you, love. They've had their like mad half hour and they are probably sleeping. They've returned to Mordor to feast and slumber. Say something filthy as Diana. Okay. Nigel Farage. There you go. Yeah, every accusation. You're quite right, Andy F. Sounds like MDF. It is possible to hate both Labour and the Tories for how they've treated the vulnerable, yeah, but I would say that it's been far worse in terms of the Tories. I mean, so far, to date. Political X is in the house. Everyone here? Mr. Political X is a good friend of mine. Lovely, lovely man. Makes great political videos. So, if you've not seen him yet, then please go over to his channel. Feel free to drop a little cheeky link in the chat, Political X. Someone mentioned earlier on, I don't know who it was, that Farage did a Ian Watkins cameo. That guy is fucking minted from foreign donors and is still toiling on Cameo. Saying mad shit. I think he does it on purpose because he knows that there's nothing he can say that's going to stop people, defending him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's the Trump effect. Keith Jeffrey. Thank you. Tommy Roddingson. Very good. Very, very good. I wouldn't be surprised, right? If it just I wouldn't be surprised if they start doing kind of like AI cameos. Even if it's like cameos of themselves. I think they're going to start doing things like this just so that they can actually get away with it. Doing it on purpose, like saying the things that they really want to say and then blaming it on AI. I think that's where we're heading. It wasn't H from Steps. It was what happened. What I saw was what looked like Nigel Farage in front of his, I don't know, country pile window, face way too close to the camera like a typical boomer, talking about Ian Watkins and how he'll be dearly missed, right? Unless he misread or misheard, and instead of lost profits, PROPHETS, he thought it was lost profits. And that's what he was mourning. Mind you, it works both ways really, doesn't it? Because with his record, Nigel Farage would both mourn a pedo and profits. So there's my dad joke for the night. I hope you're happy. Jim Howson, we have already talked about little tiny Tommy and his big gay ads. Yeah. Briefly. I thought that profits joke was good. Personally. I think you're all being very ungrateful about it. Maybe I need to get a squeaky tank for myself. Not a euphemism. Anyway, someone was earlier on talking about, I hope that Labour steps up and they ban X. Not going to happen. Not going to happen, because we're a vassal state of America. Your joke was bad when people try to kind of reassure you and go, yeah, that was good. It really wasn't. It was a low point for me. There were 3 of us in that joke. Me, all the dads that have ever existed, and Nigel Farage. Tommy Robinson was very jealous about all the daddies that appeared in that joke. Stephen Boyd Merriman. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Potatoes don't appear lovable, but they crave affection if neglected. Owners should pat them before peeling them. You need to borrow Graham's Not All Boomers logo, Tan. I need to borrow a lot from Graham. A lot. A lot. Jim Howson, my one fan. My one fan of my joke there. Stop bashing boomers. I can go off someone. What have you heard about me bashing off boomers? Oh, bashing. Right, yeah. Pepe Lamoco. You picked a fine time to bum me, Nadeem, in your 4 freezing horses and crop with your 4... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Warm horse. Pepe Lamoco there is doing a reference to Nazim Zahawi being called the King of Anal. But also using huge amounts of money to heat his stables, taxpayers' money. So his horses were warm. His horses were probably warmer than many pensioners that winter. Disgraceful, man. People forget. People forget very quickly just how bad the Tories were. Completely forget. It's unbelievable. But yeah, thank you, Pepe. That was... I found it difficult to read that. And a part of me was wondering whether or not I should. Because without context of what I spoke about earlier on regarding Farage, the greasy pole, and Pop Bitch's claim that Nadeem Zahawi referred to himself as the King of Anal, people might not understand. And they might think that I'm a terrible homophobe, when I'm absolutely not. I love gay people. Nightly. Digression, I know, but I love that green sweater. I want one. I've referred to it as my Jack Torrance sweater. Jack Torrance from The Shining sweater. It's a really old Topshop number. Yeah, I bought this from Topshop probably about, 18 years ago, I reckon. A long time ago. Oh, hello, Political X, Mr. Alex. Thank you for your super. Is this a Tory plot to bail on Farage just before the elections? I do not think. This is what I was going to cover. You've took the words right out of my mouth. Really, you've reminded me. I don't think that they're going to. I think that they are going to be so desperate for their own survival that they will enter at least an informal pact with the Conservatives. I've said for years that I think that there's still a chance that Farage could jump ship to the Tories to stand in the next election. It's not looking as likely now, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's all to play for. I mean, the problem is that from one week to the next, you just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I think we're approaching, if we have not already approached, the peak of reform, really. And sadly, I don't think that anything... But on the other hand, I also don't think that anything matters anymore. So how poorly they perform in the councils don't matter. How poorly they perform as human beings or have performed as Tories doesn't matter. Because they're not running on factual information. They're not running on manifestos. They're running on who has the most money to pour into their disinformation campaigns and rhetoric and culture wars and distractions. So the Tories, it depends on how fucked they are too. But I can't see them helping reform necessarily, even though they're doing that by their very existence. So they're basically like a twat dispenser to the Reform Party at this point. But everyone keeps going, oh, how is Nigel Farage going to be able to continue if he keeps taking on all of the old Tories? Oh, isn't it going to undermine his credibility? He doesn't run on a fucking campaign of credibility. He runs on brainwashing people and fucking with their sense of reality. He doesn't play by the rules. It's not facts. It's all xenophobia, racism, lies, and how far he can spread them, and playing on people's fears and insecurities. That's what he does. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about whether it's true or not anymore. This is the problem. There was a great piece on that this week. It's not just the fact that, you know, people are believing lies. It's the fact that they don't care whether or not they're true anymore. And that's the slippery slope that was called out around the Brexit campaign with Michael Gove saying, who cares about experts? This is the problem. This is the problem. We're so far beyond that now. Like we are in every aspect post-truth, you know. It doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter anymore. Dumb as a bag of hair, someone said earlier on. That is rather good, isn't it? It is all emotional, says Andy F. Yeah, it is all emotional. These people have got a lot of big feelings, so they don't particularly care about the facts. Oh, the irony, you know, considering how much they've always tried to claim that's what women do. Oh, the irony. Yeah, America, I mean, anything that's happening in America is being imported here. When you look at Farage doing the anti-abortion circuit, Stella Creasy, she came on and did an interview with me. Her plan was going to be the one that would fully decriminalise abortion for good and make it a healthcare matter, but everyone was wrongly celebrating it when they went with the other amendment, which still keeps abortion criminalised, and then everyone was wrongly reporting that it was decriminalised. So we're still vulnerable. Women's bodies are still at risk of Farage essentially taking huge sums of money from the anti-abortion campaigners, the Christian evangelists, the white Taliban, the Christian Taliban. That's another thing that this is all doing. It's another thing. Badass mother, hello love. Yes, I have seen that there seems to be a watering down of the duty of candour in the Hillsborough Bill, exempting the security services. Fuck me, as if they're not shady enough. You know, as if the licence to kill isn't enough, which they absolutely do. As if for years spies pretending to be in a relationship with and having children with women whilst infiltrating campaign groups and activism groups wasn't enough. This Labour government is as weak as a bag of piss, man. As weak as a bag of weak piss, to be precise. But no, Sal, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Oh, Alex, Sal's coming down. You'll need to message. I can fill Alex in, actually. We're all going to go to Clacton. The last time that me and Alex went to Clacton, I took a picture of Alex in front of a picture that looked like it had a giant penis on it next to a grandmother. That was a good day. Weird pub, good day. Very cold. We tried to vox pop people. I think Clacton is sick of being vox popped, because it must be vox popped every single week, that place. Every single week. Yeah, it was the secret. Oh, I can't remember what it was called now. The Spy Cops. That's it. Yeah, that was the undercover. Like, the Secret Service are grim, and they're the worst Tories too. And not only are, like, often their own agents dispensable, but, you know, anyone that gets in their way is too. So, poor real Jonathan Ross. Yeah. Yeah, what with that little ice monster. What a piece of shite. I once nearly fell out of a barracuda ride on Clacton Pier. One of those that go, and it goes over. Yeah, it was terrifying. I was holding on for dear life. Yeah. Could have died. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up pretty soon. Unless any of you maybe give it 5 minutes, possibly. If you've got any questions you want to drop into the chat, I'll try and answer them as quickly as possible. Oh, Cleggy Clark, you are welcome. Clozzy Osborne, that's a fucking brilliant name for Tiny Tom names. Tiny 10 Tom names. Fuck me. Tiny Tommy 10 names. Thank you. Thank you, brain. Thank you very much. ICE agents have used tear gas on protesters today. Wow. Yeah. Oh no, please don't go. I can only do so much, man. Oh, good night, Charlie. Good night, Charlie. Should join the group. Goipers, yeah, great idea. Join the weird far right. Excellent. Hi Tam, my MP wants to make illegal for MPs to lie in office. Good luck. Good luck. My tea is very cold now. It was horrible. It was horrible. Nick Fuentes is going to become our president. Fucking hell, probably. I mean, who knows anymore? Who knows anymore? I feckin' love you too, Heather Colvin. They've been using real bullets and pepper spray since the dawn of time, basically. Ich bin Jade. I implore everybody, especially reformers, to check out Sicko by Michael Moore. That's what we can expect over here. Little recommendation there from Ich bin Jade. Thank you very much. Lexiosity, did you hear the Homeland Security gave ICE immunity now? Yeah. Yes, I did. And I've also seen that Homeland Security have been using Nazi slogans and Nazi songs on their social media pages. I did put out, if you guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, if I'm not feeling up to making video content, just so you're all aware, same username, Supertansky 3 Eyes. I'm quite active on Instagram and Threads. So if you do pop over to Instagram after this show, I will put up a little post stream and say hello via the post if you're coming over from YouTube. So it's Supertansky 3 Eyes on Instagram and Threads. So feel free to drop me a little hi on there, because if I'm not as active, but I am aiming to, in the next, I'm going to be behind, but I'm going to cover basically what I've talked about with reform and add a bit extra tomorrow. But I still need to make a video where I outline my my ex, Noncey Sinatra Twitter Hellscape saga. Got a very angry feminist piece of writing that I might actually just do it to camera and put it out here. But I'm also thinking about starting a Substack. Anyone that subscribes to my Ko-Fi will get anything that I put on Substack put on my Ko-Fi too. So you won't lose out if you've already subscribed to check out my notes and my writing. So yeah, I'm kind of getting back in the swing of things over the next couple of days and going to be recording a couple of videos. I've just been a bit behind because I wasted 3 hours today recording and writing and getting out a video about what had happened. So I might use that in my video tomorrow and then add on the bit where he actually defects. Probably just have to wear the same jumper 2 days in a row, but I'm just going to double check because I feel like I've forgotten some chats here. Just going to make sure I haven't. Because I can be a bit forgetful. Oh, Kay Thing said earlier on, that sweater is older than most Reform voters' girlfriends. Referring to my probably I think it's 18-year-old, but I think it might be more like 15-year-old. Same thing. You're quite right. Rob Clark, respect for your progressive content and top-tier satire. Also, thanks for teaching me about charging people with being thicker than a submarine door. Don't think I invented it, but I definitely use it. So you are more than welcome. It's a good phrase. I think I used to say thicker than, more dense than osmium before too. Thank you for the extreme close-up camera. Thanks for that. Apparently itching my ear makes the camera come in. Stephen Boyd Merriman. Lodger banned from boarding house and ordered to find lodging house. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Stephen. Thicker than a Boxing Day turd. Not you. I'm just adding on to not you, Stephen. That was lovely. That was yeah, I needed that. If they got any thicker, they'd set is another favourite. Yeah, I've got the AI is in my camera. Red rum. Apparently only works when I itch my ear. Come on, Tiny. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Don't know why it's doing that. No idea why it's doing that. Oh, Stephen Merriman, thank you. How's the GoFundMe going? I'm going to change how that operates. I do not have the bandwidth to do what's going to need to be done with that. So what I think I'm going to do is probably see if I can, when I get round to it, because I've been not in a good place, what I'm thinking about doing is, let me just get this back out to medium, because that's a bit too close up for me. It's still close up, isn't it? I don't know what's going on there. What I'm thinking about doing with the GoFundMe is I'm going to... thicker than KFC gravy. That's a good one now. I'm thinking about saying, look, I'm going to use some of this for legal fees regarding the police, possibly. And then I'm just going to donate the rest to Refuge. In the past, I've donated or fundraised £8,000 for Refuge, thanks to everyone supporting the thing that I did in that September. I walked a certain amount of miles for, can't remember how many it was now, for Refuge, and people donated to support that. And I raised the best part of £8,000 for them. Also raised thousands for Samaritans before. So what I think I'm going to do is, and I know they're a good charity, and I know they really look out for women, and I know they've been all over this. So I'm going to, probably just end it early, I think, possibly. Say to anyone, if you're not happy with me using the funds in this way, in terms of a bit of legal support and then giving it over to a woman's charity who can support the women that are affected, then I will do that. I don't have the bandwidth, I don't have the skill. Might also give some of it to Good Law Project, possibly. I don't know. Because I just don't feel up to it. Not with what I've been through the last 5 years, but especially the last couple of months or so. Just, I don't have it in me to do what I need to do in terms of my channel, and because I'm so behind this month with my channel, with my YouTube channel. Can we not be dickheads to OF women, please? They are doing an honest job. So let's not shit on women doing an honest job, shall we? Especially when, sadly, it's still one of the ways that, the only ways that women can make a comparable income. So yeah. So I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight and listened to me mocking the week WEAK as well as WEEK, and for listening about me talk to some extent about what I've had to deal with online. I am aiming to get, I will be recording tomorrow, and I'm kind of trying to figure out whether or not to go down the X route or down the reform Jenrick route, really. Thank you to Sarah, to Yuri, to Andy, to Diz, to Pepe Lamoko too. Thank you again. Who says, you could add some bottom cream to the stables. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ollie Bockus. Blah, 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 CW. Chris C, 84, who's one of the mods, we are the mods. I think I've already said thank you to Diz, Lexiosity, to Jim Howson, to Scott Street, to Twitch Fixer, to everyone that dropped a super in tonight, to Kirsty Hamilton, to Mr. Merriman for his lovely jokes. There we go. To all of you, it's been difficult. I'm glad that I came back in this way first. Really glad. Andy F. Thank you, T. I'm really glad that I came back in this way because the community aspect makes me feel better. It's good to get these ideas out in real time. And I hope I did an okay job of it tonight. Thank you to Chris Field. Back at you, Diz. Bill Silver. To all of you. I really am grateful to everyone that's kind of still willing to tune in to watch my channel. And I'll give you a shout. Keep an eye on my community posts. Keep an eye on my Insta. And I will see you in the week. I will see you in the week. But for now, thank you. Good night. And don't go shagging flags to try to please me. You've never let me down before. Now it's time for you to hear a outro that doesn't make any fucking sense on a Thursday. Bye.
It's the Sunday service. With super dance tea. This go be a warning. Doobie doobie doo.